Batman doesn't always like to operate alone. In fact, for someone you would peg as more of a loner, Batman seems to prefer teams quite a bit. Although when you're as prepared as Batman is, it kind of inherently makes you a great leader, and often a good role model for other heroes just starting out. Cut to his long-standing role as a leader in the Justice League, and his father-like persona when it comes to his Bat family. Today we'll be looking outside the world of DC though, when it comes to other characters who might do well with some of Bruce's guidance. Or at least, might be entertaining to watch when it comes to Bats trying to teach them something. As we count down the top 10 Marvel superheroes Batman should team up with. And you might be surprised, as DC and Marvel agreed with us fans on some of these shoulds, so some may have even already happened. What? Join me in finding out which as we get counting. And be sure to stick around for some bonus content at the end of this list. Number 10. Doctor Strange. Why is this mashup so appealing? The same reason I enjoy watching Batman and Zatanna together. The idea of Batman needing assistance with something of a more supernatural nature, and the idea of a mortal human detective based in cold hard reality mashing up in a scenario that requires his skill but is just enough mysticism sprinkled in to warrant Doctor Strange's involvement. I would love it if these two went on some kind of spiritual ghost hunt together, a la the early Doctor Strange days. Or maybe the two could meet at some kind of meditation retreat and both get called into action and have to team up. Another idea for the two would be to have Doctor Strange of Earth 616 team up with the vampiric Batman of Earth 43. Vampiric? Vampiric? I guess it doesn't really matter which way you say that word. Potato potato. It wouldn't be the first time Doctor Strange has worked with or against the undead who call themselves vampire. During the Montesi Formula story arc, he teamed up with vampire detective Hannibal King and Blade, working to defeat Dracula himself. Another idea is the arcane arts come to Gotham in the form of a villain who is experimenting with magics. Maybe Black Mask, which could be spooky, or maybe Calendar Man is no longer posing as a stage magician as he did during his debut in Detective Comics issue 259, but has become a real one. That could be a fun kind of adventure. And Doctor Strange answers the call to help as Zatanna is unavailable. You know, sometimes she's busy, she can't help Batman all the time. She got things. Number 9. Iron Man. Both are billionaire playboys, or at least appear to be. Still, while Batman might not agree with Tony's lifestyle choices, both characters are known for their brilliance and for their obsession with control and ability to plan ahead. And this might be enough to make them a strong team up. Tony, after all, was the instigator behind Civil War I with his Superhero Registration Act. He has since learned the error of his ways, but still tends to be quite lawful when it comes to his views. He would be lawful good for sure if he were a D&D character. Meanwhile, Batman suffers from borderline OCD and paranoia when it comes to being prepared, and as such created contingency plans for all of his fellow JLA members, only to have them fall into the hands of Ra's al Ghul and be used against his teammates, forcing him to apologize to the team. Neither is a known killer, and both heroes prefer to trust in the system when it comes to vengeance and justice. Plus, we all know we would want to see Batman get his own Iron Man suit, complete with a little metal bat ears. That'd be great. I'm Iron Man now. Woo! Iron Bat. Oh. Iron Bat would be awesome. Make it happen. Number 8. Spider-Man. I mean, you knew he was going to be on here, because who wouldn't want to see just about anyone team up with Spider-Man, right? The crazy thing is, this dream team has already happened. The pair had a one-shot team up in 1995, with the comic Spider-Man and Batman, Disordered Minds. But it's been over 20 years since the two have shared the pages of a comic book, and I think it's about time we make this happen again. Besides, we have to have Black Cat and Catwoman join in for this team up. As cool as Carnage and the Joker were together, I'm personally more interested in seeing a caper story where Catwoman and Black Cat team up for some good old-fashioned thieving, and Spider-Man and Batman have to put a stop to their dangerous femme fatales. Oh my gosh, I was almost like, lady swap anyone? Then I was like, wait. Number 7. Black Panther. These two together would truly be some of the most teched out. I know what you're thinking, but what about the Bats and Iron Man team up I suggested earlier? Yes, those two would also have a ton of tech, but Black Panther comes from Wakanda, and as great as Tony's tech might be, not even Stark can beat the tech coming out of Panther's homeland. Black Panther and Bats also have a similar look and sometimes a similar fighting style, though I would say that Batman is kind of the sneakier of the two. Let's have them team up. Number 6. Iron Fist. These two are both skilled martial artists who I would love to both see duke it out and then combine their skills to take down a big bad. I think Iron Fist could even give Batman more of a run for his money than any other hero from Marvel who he's taken in hand-to-hand combat. I'm imagining Bruce joining with Danny in an attempt to take down the League of Assassins, or the Hand. Seeing them have to take on someone like Lady Shiva or maybe someone like Taskmaster could also be super interesting. Who do you think that pair should take on? Give me your best martial artists villains. Number 5. Jessica Jones. I think Batman would feel a lot of respect for Jessica Jones. The two could team up on a case together, maybe they were both tracking the same perp for different reasons, they run into each other, or maybe Bruce decides he wants a fresh start and decides to live under an alias as a private PI of his own, and the two end up as like rival detectives competing for cases. But these two are bound to do well together whatever happens, and it never hurts to have Batman team up with someone who has real superpowers, in case they run into a threat too large for Batman's planning, or vice versa, a problem that just can't be crushed by Jessica's super strength and maybe it needs Batman's help in terms of locating that perfect weak spot. They'd complement each other so well. Number 4. Daredevil. Two costumes that are designed to scare, with one that might possibly be more terrifying than the other. I'll let you battle out in the comments as to who you think I'm talking about there. Who is the scarier costume? What do you think? Both are masterful investigators who pose as wealthy citizens during the day, and are sometimes known for their playboy tendencies. These two are both brutal assailants with a belief in justice and a policy for not killing their enemies, just beating them senseless. Two that we would love to see on a murder case. In fact, we already have. These two have teamed up once in 1997 in Daredevil / Batman Eye for an Eye, and again in 2000 in the sequel King of New York. You know, a team up is good when it happens again that soon after. And seeing as how it's been almost 20 years, I figured we're due for another team up of these two different yet similar heroes. P.S. their team ups are pretty good, so just saying, maybe we get some more now? DC and Marvel, do more crossover things, please. We want it. Number 3. Captain America. Considering the Batman is best friends with Superman, is anyone surprised that many would love to see Batman and Captain America team up? In fact, it shouldn't be surprising because these two did team up in 1996, accompanied by their own sidekicks. This comic was kind of actually more of a sidekick swap than anything, though, where Batman ended up with Bucky and Cap ended up working with Robin to take down the Red Skull and Joker. Or in the end, really just Red Skull, as the Joker himself defected from the plot after finding out that he was working for a Nazi. Apparently even for Joker that's too much. I will kill a bunch of babies, but Nazis, that's where I draw the line. The two also crossed paths in an Avengers and Justice League crossover where Batman actually decided to call a truce while fighting Cap, realizing that in Steve Rogers he had found a fairly even match to his abilities, and that the fight was kind of pointless. They were just both gonna probably fight each other forever if they didn't stop it, so I'd love to see the two of these strong, evenly matched superheroes come together to protect not just the Earth, but the universe. I'd like to see Darkseid and Thanos end up somehow working together and then Cap and Batman have to like lead a team and take them on. It'd be pretty crazy. I know it was pretty crazy in like JLA / Avengers, but I think we could go even crazier with it. Cap and Bats make too good of a team, and it's been too long since we've seen this pair together, so come on, give me something new. Give me something even bigger than that crossover. Or like just Batman and Cap versus the universe. Number 2. Nick Fury. Both are known for always being super prepared, and both are super sleuths who pride themselves on knowing what's going on at all times, even when we think there is no way that they could have known. Remember that whole ordeal with Jezebel Jet and Batman? She revealed it was all a ruse, and then he revealed he knew it was a ruse, and he was also performing a ruse on her. And we were like, wait, what? If you knew, then why did you sleep with her? What's happening? Anyways, Nick Fury and Batman would also likely complement one another in terms of their way that they approach going about doing their business and getting the job done. Both are focused and serious. It could be cool to see Batman be recruited by S.H.I.E.L.D. in order to help with a special ops mission, and then go in with Nick Fury. Or maybe the two would both be leaders of like their own team out on the same mission and just run into each other, see the value of each other, and then team up. That could be cool. Secret Agent Batman. Batman James Bond mashup. That would also be cool. Number 1. Deadpool. In the Spider-Man / Deadpool team-up comic issue number 6, we see Deadpool and Spidey talking about superhero movies. The two end up attending a spoof version of Batman v Superman when they watch Nighthawk v Hyperion. They take turns after the viewing, pointing out everything wrong with the film. The lack of motivation and the obsession with thinking 5 films ahead instead of simply working at all towards making the film itself a standalone success. I would love a team up that casts Batman and Deadpool in a similar vibe and just turns this joke back on Deadpool himself. DC might not be down as it also kind of makes fun of the Batman v Supes film itself, but the punchline would actually be that Deadpool is the king of nonsensical fights in the comic book world. He frequently ends up tussling with Wolverine for no other reason than he can. He fights a lot of people in comics sometimes for just no reason, so. But whatever story DC and Marvel choose to explore with these two heroes, just the two characters sharing a page would likely be a treat. Just a panel even. Give me a panel. Batman could play the perfect straight man to Wade's crazy, and I'm sure both would drive one another up the wall. And keep in mind, Deadpool isn't easy to frustrate in a team up. He's usually got too much pep in his step. But if anyone can annoy Wade, I'll bet it's Batman. He'd be way too serious. Thank you for watching, Nerd Squad. Who do you think has a more frightening getup, Daredevil or Batman? Who from the Marvel world would you like to see Batman team up with? Do you think there are any Marvel villains that he could be persuaded into working with? Let us know in the comments below. And speaking of comments, it's time to turn to some comments from one of our latest videos, Top 10 Superheroes Who Became Gods, Part 2. Jose Ortega commented, Amanda looks like she can gain god-level superpowers, be it where her might. It's true. If I get my hands on that Phoenix Force, y'all better watch out. It would probably corrupt me. So much power. In what way would you like to get god powers actually if you could? Let me know in the comments. Robert Spears says, I would like to see Miles Morales or Gwen Stacy as Captain Universe, or maybe bring back Ben Reilly and make him Captain Universe. That sounds like it would be doable. I mean, if Aunt May can get cosmic powers and become Golden Oldie, I'm sure these other alternates could find a way to get that sweet, sweet Enigma Force. I'd really love to see Miles actually become Captain Universe. And that's all the time we have for comments today. If you want to shout out, be sure to leave a comment below, and while you're on your way down there, remember to do the thing, Julie. And by that I mean like, sub, and ring that bell. Please and thank you. Till next time, this has been Top 10 Nerd, and I'm your host Amanda McKnight, reminding you to stay nerdy, YouTube.